Today, I want to discuss Hogwarts Legacy, its impact when it came out, and now, over a year later, what it's like today. It just randomly came up my mind and I thought it was pretty interesting to talk about, so yeah. Everyone was on this game when it dropped. It was like one of the best selling games of last year. And some people want to be like, what's it like after the first month of hype? Well, what is it like 1 year after its hype? I can say that the longevity is there if you are a huge Harry Potter Hogwarts fan, and that was me, and I was super excited to play on the first day, and I learned more about the entire wizarding world than ever before. And if you have played Harry Potter games in the past, you understand that Hogwarts Legacy is like the pinnacle of exploration for Harry Potter games. And when I first saw the couple of trailers drop, I was like, oh, they're trying to do like a Red Dead but like Harry Potter. And I kind of felt that potential in like the first two playthroughs, but then after that you realize that like not much is really expanded outside of the wizarding world. It was really good, really good on like the first two playthroughs, but like you pretty much know everything and what's gonna happen after that, which could potentially ruin some immersion. It did for me. I felt like one of the biggest things was like creating my own storylines, and that really helped out the role playing in this game.
I haven't a clue why there's such a fuss over poaching.
Oh. Because after the first two playthroughs, it's just kind of like a rinse and repeat. It doesn't ruin the effect of the magic or like Hogwarts itself, but it does harm the effect of being unpredictable. Because after you 100% a video game, it's just like, okay, what am I gonna do now? And I feel like there's a really big major difference in games like Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Hogwarts Legacy in terms of NPC interaction. But on that first playthrough, I mean, you're just gonna get lost in the world, and they did a pretty good job at that.
Can't we take these socks back to Mr. Hill and get me some
When
normal
you pay
ones?
for your own socks, then you get to choose. Until then, you'll learn to be thrifty and behave. You're starting to cause a scene.
Papa, can we really wash charms out of things?
Don't be absurd. That woman will say anything to avoid spending her canut.
Of course, the environment like is never lacking. They really went all out in the environment. I just felt like, and I know this might sound stupid, but like after you fully completed the game, it didn't feel like you are over with your journey yet. That's just my opinion, because there are games where like you can continue to play it after it's over non-stop for hours and hours and hours. And then there's those games where it's just a one and done. Hogwarts is not a one and done game, but it's not a game where you like really can explore more than just walk around Hogwarts after you've already felt satisfied. But there are still great qualities, and I feel like one of the biggest factors heading into Hogwarts Legacy are the spell castings, and I felt like the spell castings will never get tired for me personally. The battle arenas are like the best things that they could have added for spellcaster enthusiasts, because you can have all of your spell abilities and you just go crazy. And they teach you how to perform these spells, like certain strategies in the beginning of the game, but then that kind of gets a little bit like, I don't know if I really wanted to do it like that. So then you become unorthodox, and that becomes so much better, where you just start doing stuff that you think is like not even the best choice, but it genuinely fulfills that experience of spell casting like this.
Accio, drop to the person, come back, and incendio.
Okay, come, that was just dirty.
That shit ricocheted off the ground. That shit ricocheted off of the ground, and I still caught that. That shit
You're going home in a wooden box!
Let me out,
So yeah, I'm very satisfied with the combat. I felt like they really did it justice, and there were so many elements, and it did seem confusing at first, but it did pretty get accessible later on. And I know a lot of people were upset that there was going to be no Quidditch in the game, but in terms of other Harry Potter games, the flying was probably the best it's ever been. I felt like the outfits were pretty cool too. I liked the fact that they were able to keep on the best gear but change it at the same time so we didn't look like a goofy character. There was a lot of customization in this game, and I can definitely praise that, especially the fact that we were able to make our own character, because I'm a sucker for character creation games, and they did it justice with some pretty good designs in there. The story was pretty captivating for, like, again, the first two like stories, because first story, I did it my way. The second story, I did it complete opposite. And then it just came down to the fact of wanting to create my own characters just for the sake of the houses and to get the platinum trophy in the end. And for the room of requirement, I had no expectations, but I felt like it was pretty good. Again, I think if anyone is interested in playing Hogwarts Legacy, go right ahead. If you've never even played it, don't know anything about it, I don't think you need to know anything prior. It's just that, like, the first two playthroughs for me were like the best, and then after that it just kind of went off the rails, because the storyline I think is really interesting the first time you play it, and then the second time is like, okay, but at least you're with like a new character and you're doing different things than the previous playthrough. And then after that it's just kind of like, alright, because throughout the game you create these awesome relationships with these professors and your classmates, and then after the game is done it's just like good luck finding them, because they're literally non-existent. Like, how are we gonna end off some of these dialogues with like, oh, let's go for a butterbeer next time, and then we don't get a butterbeer or anything like that? This game does not have an honor system, and that clearly shows, because you don't really get punished for anything. Like, you can do some really crazy stuff in this game and you won't get punished at all, and that would be such a great thing to add in the game. And again, because of that, it should go towards an interactive NPC thing. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 just has it. It's just got it like that. But other than those things, I felt like they did hit the mark. Like 85 to 90%, they did their thing. And especially the fact that when you first played this game, your first playthrough will be the best one. And that is an experience I don't think anyone should miss out on. Leave a comment below if you've played Hogwarts Legacy and what are your thoughts on the game. Did you drop it, or are you still playing it like every day? Because every person's experience is going to be different. The first two experiences for me will be undefeated. Like, I don't think anything can match those. This game has a lot to offer for sure, but I definitely think maybe in the next game, if they do decide to get another one, they could really try to flesh out stuff more so that when the story ends, our journey doesn't feel like it. I know it's kind of weird, but there are some games where it just does that. And I'm mostly talking about 100% completing the game, because you can finish the story, but you didn't go for 100%. That's my thing. By the time the story's over, I'm already at 100%. I just wanted to see if the game could offer me more than 100%. And while Hogwarts Legacy did do that for me for a little bit, I don't think it lasted that long as it should have. But I did see some articles saying that there's going to be a director's cut, so maybe that'll bring me back.
Insulted to my soul, completely and utterly mortified. Why I could.